Trudeau government set up the Passenger Protect Inquiries Office just last summer in June, and they said that they would help families and people whose names were wrongly listed on no-fly lists. Now, among them, many families who say their children are on these lists and share the names of some suspected terrorists. Now, after appealing to the office, many of these families say since this office has been set up, there has been no change in their frustrations and their troubles at the airport. We heard from Khadija Kaji. We'd spoken to her a couple times before, and she and her husband, Suleiman Ahmed, their 7-year-old son, Adam, is on one of these lists. And again, on a recent trip or recent flight to Montreal, they faced the same delays that they have been facing since he was 6 weeks old. They were on their way to a Montreal hockey game with their grandparents, so a lot of frustration there. And his mother says that she worries about what happens when her son reaches the age of 18 and other kids once they hit that age. Take a listen.
The main concern, for example, is, for the older boys especially, who want to travel by themselves, how do they get to do this without any fear of being caught up, in some bad situation? There is no assurance for them, and that's the concern for us. We don't want our boys to have the stigma over them for the rest of their lives.
And Adam's mother created a website specifically for families whose kids are on these no-fly lists. And she says that they have 55 kids and counting, and families that have contacted them so far.
So, as I was saying at the outset, Tashana, the Trudeau government comes up with this office to deal with the problems. Why are they still going on these many months later then?
Well, essentially, the PPIO, or this office, they don't have any power. So they aren't able to take people or remove them from the list in the U.S. or Canada. Now, what they can do is provide advice. And that's what they've been doing with people who have contacted them. And there are two suggestions that they have for people. You can either go through the process of contacting an American appeals office, or you can sign up for a loyalty program for one of these many airlines. That apparently will help in these cases. So far, the office says that they have, in their words, resolved cases. They've had 80 families contact them, or people contact them on these lists. They say they've dealt with 78 of these cases. But again, that only means that they've provided advice. And so these people continue to deal with these problems. We know the Safety Minister, Ralph Goodale, says that if we want to see a permanent fix, it would require an overhaul of the system. Take a listen.
Is a long-term situation. It's something that you can't just scribble down on the back of an envelope, insert a new chip, and bingo, it's done. It's a complex matter, and it will take us, I'm sure, well into next year to make sure that this is resolved and running smoothly as we want it to do.
And the Public Safety Minister added that they are working on a computer system that is supposed to help with some of these false name matches to no-fly lists. But again, families and children now have to still continue to deal with these problems despite the office and the work that they said that they would set out to do.